about 1982. Yes, go back a bit. That's very relevant. It's called Electro. I wrote it for, when I was at university, I wrote it for a friend of mine who wasn't very sure of herself and who she was. Electro. Yes, I'm into black power. But don't make that soul your tower of baby. Black power I check is black and able, capable, aggressive, successful. This power has surged like electricity through our veins, and the sparks rekindle as we remember the riding bodies of our brothers and sisters in plains, lynched high and in flames. Make Babylon written a resistance to our confidence. Soon the voltage can link you as you overload our capacities. In times present, times past, times future, after the bride, the electrode incision of a constant derision, starting to hold down our personal pride with a now realized, horrifying precision. That is why all who are conscious are conscious, and all who are conscious must nervous. A few hours ago, I couldn't pick kind of have to gauge it to the audience, and whether or not some of it's real kind of hardcore patois, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's probably not going to help. Okay, I'll do this one, I'll do this one. Reason for a rebel. They call me a member of the militant youth because I like to talk the truth. Just becoming a talk with a skin teeth smile. They say my mind's not versatile. They say the chip on my shoulder get lost when we all up on their hands rule the play. Must see them just avoid. Ostracize, patronize, criticize, mesmerize. The marionette had busted his strings. We discovered his past through the tribal redeems. And now we know we once were kings, 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 kings. Kings before this Babylon. Kings of Spain or Africa. We had an integrity, we had a strength that could last them over to see this Babylon cross. Tempted the chief, then don't cross. We have the brain and the strength to provide that key, to unlock that door on history. We have the strength to progress, rise from the ashes, from a time impossible, the pain of ashes, 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 ashes. Let me remind you, say there is no excuse to forget your pride and set your peace like refuse. Black man can conquer chocolate and not eat our memory before Christmas. And the blood in my veins is Africa. 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 This one's called Native. It's very short. You have to really concentrate to really kind of see what I'm getting at. Right? It's called Native. My skin may be naked, but I am clothed by my consciousness.
very much, Winston, for that poetry. We might be able to let you come up again later. It's just that it was an impromptu. Sumo is now going to introduce himself.
Before I introduce myself, let me just remind us that Winston Shakespeare claims to be a member of the Shakespeare family. And incidentally, he is a local product. He's a son of Luton, born and bred. And just went for the first time. He's been to college with my daughter, my son. So, welcome. And we only heard about this thing last night on the radio. That's what brought him here. So he had to gather his things from dust. He had all his poetry up in the loft somewhere. Anyway, thank you.
Winston Shakespeare went to Stoke-on-Trent and said he saw the actual grave of William Shakespeare. Oh, sorry, Stratford-in-Avon, certainly. And apparently, I don't know how truthful it is because I haven't searched it yet, but he is of swarthy countenance, so that gives us something to think about.
Well, about myself, I am Cyril Ivan. I've been living in Luton since 1960. I worked as a railway guard for about 2 years before joining Vauxhall in Luton. I spent something like 20 years there. And then I went to college and studied to be a social worker, got a CQSW, left from there and worked as a Macmillan social worker, attached to the hospital, working with cancer patients. After which, I retired, and then I worked for 4 years at the museum in Warren Park. And here I am, retired. That's about me. Thank you. Right, now, during the evening, there will be several musical interludes. This is to give you time to browse the exhibition and take part in the activities. We have 4 back-to-school kits to give away. There will be a prize for the group who gets the most correct answers in each activity. But in order to get the prize, your group must contain a child under the age of 16. There are 4 activities. 1. Black British role models. As you will have noticed, there have been 24 slides playing intermittently. Each one of these slides contain Black British innovators. There will be a prize for the group who can name the most. Africa crossword, Africa map. Name all 54 states. There are answer sheets by the exhibition. You must work in groups. Black to the Edge computer game. This was running at 6:30. And there will be a chance to play again at 8:30. The group with the most points will win. We will now have the first of our short musical interludes, introduced by Silky G.
Incidentally, the Black Role Models, that's going to be later on in the show. You haven't seen it tonight yet. So Silky G is going to give us a story.
All right, people, it's magic time. Come on, and if we jam it,
Give Naz a round of applause.
The memories in my heart, the blood in my veins, the history in my mind and in my soul, I know their names. I'm made absolutely beautiful by the blending of civilizations, the binding of cultures and the unions of nations. And the crown of my head, I rest a heart of paper, designed by African Americans, forgotten time. The structure of my cheeks, you can trace the whole of history. I am the living language, written in beauty, and I am the in truth. If you want to know my science, I will let you feel each passing century, each evolution of life, as you touch the place where history has touched me. I apologise for the whole market. I'm not really good. And also, I apologise for the fastness of the slides, but they will be slowed down later on for anyone who wants to be like when we do that bit later on in the day. So I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to take you through this a little bit because it's self-explanatory by the whole last black man being the title. But I think sometimes people forget that even though I'm talking about a black man, I'm talking about all the ancient civilizations, everything that existed and what has happened to mankind. You've got Greek, you've got Roman, you've got Egyptian, you've got Olmec, Inca, Aztec, Mayan, there's a lot of civilizations, and basically that's what we're talking about here. Last black man, obviously that's close to me, but we're talking about mankind and the lessons that we all should be learning from each other. What happened to the people of Sumer, the traveller, asked the old man, for I heard they were wise and mighty people. Ah, the old man sighed. They lost their history, and so they died. What I will tell you is the legend of Sumer, a story spread by weight, about a nation of people who once did rule the world. And I am the last who shall speak it, for I am the end of the line. I am the world's last black man, and so the duty is mine. We had so many enemies and we fought so many wars, but not all the battles were physical. Some were in minds like yours. We didn't believe in our history, we didn't believe in ourselves. We allowed other nations to pass us by and leave us on the shelf. We believed that we were history, that we were always slaves. We forgot that we were kings and queens and believed that we lived in caves. We failed to remember our value, all the things we achieved as philosophers, scientists, inventors, catering for our nation's needs. We failed to value our women and people, proud to come through it all. Proud we're a nation of fighters standing firm, stable, tall. And now our nation has fallen, and there are no remains. We've been slipped away from memory, no history books with our names. No one will come to our epitaph, no statue will stand in our honour. There will be no days declared holiday, no homage to our colour. There will be no public or remembrance today for us who died in the wars, died in the battles that didn't help our cause. When I sit and think of my people, tears creep back in my eyes, there rings no record of our greatness, history made up of life. I want to tell you the story of dark-coloured girls and boys raised in a world of wonder, where philosophers and so much more, the children snatched from parents, bred and silent slaves, who never saw their families again and who died in unmarked graves. It's not so far away from me, the suffering and the dying, but I have managed to distance myself by listening to their life. And here I am bewildered. In my heart I feel their pain, they're screaming in my ears and their blood rushes through my veins. So many of us were murdered, and the truth they twisted and covered. We killed us again by forgetting all that we had suffered. We were a nation of intellect, a fact to which we were blind. The ethnic cleansing started with our bodies, but it finished in our minds. We could fight the tangible enemy, but we couldn't fight the lies. They wrote us out of history, and that is why we died. And here the legend comes to an end, and I have to say this, we're sorry. But this happened to my nation today, and it will happen to yours tomorrow. And this final piece that I'm doing right now, it's called None of the Above. We all know about them ethnic wonderful forms. We've all seen them before, allowed to film them out. Which box do you tick? You know, black Hubba, black Caribbean, black whichever, half black, little bit black sideways, black whatever. This is kind of about that. It's kind of showing that in this day and age where we're at right now, when it comes to filling out monitoring forms for ethnicity, we are so blended. There are so many of us that contain so much of other nations and other nationalities, and the actual monitoring is not quite reflecting the whole truth of the matter, and that's really what this piece is about. This is called None of the Above. Black African, black Caribbean, black Hubba, born in Britain. 1/16 white, 1/8 British. Seems a lot, but I'm not finished. Mixed race blood, black and Asian, father's side, American Indian. Black and white, black and Irish, great-great-grandfather, 1/4 Spanish. Pakistani, Swedish, Brazilian, African Asian, a smidge Puerto Rican. Part Cuban, part Haitian, they're the parts that are not Egyptian. I'm half of everything and a quarter of nothing. I'm none of the above, but I am me.
That was a very good poem, wasn't it? Yeah, really. Now we'd like to try to now introduce Manor to the poem as well.
I'm going to do one called My Word. Try and do it from memory, it's quite short. I work, going berserk, receiving no recognition because of my pigmentation. I am black, and that's a fact. And the employers react in a way that is backed by the rest of the whites who love to unite in racism. Now materialism. Now that is the cause of so many wars that causes us strive in order to live. But we receive no recognition because of our pigmentation. So we work, going berserk, going berserk. other one I'm going to do is Lord, we can't turn it in England. Boarding the bus the other day, a burly black woman blocked my way. Wobbling into an already delegated seat, she planted her load between two white ladies' feet. She snarled and then snorted as if ready to bore into the two women sitting each side of her. Just as the bus started pulling off, out of her mouth emanated a laugh. She then started to wheeze and on blowing her nose. She nervously bawled out the tales of her woes. Lord, we can't stand it in England. This country that will bring me down. We want to go back to my country, but not even a penny we want. Me say, Lord, we can't stand it in England. It's where I want to get this weather from. It kill off my husband and my one girl child, and leave me with no one we will reconcile. Them do autopsy for me one picking, and they certify it as perfect. But me know say not know what's up, and the cold weather take our last breath. The same way they caught my husband Claude, he would be alive now if he'd been back a yard. But we leave way from Jamaica for come here, and think said that life would be better. But life not better, it's worse, and that is why we have to cost. Them cut off the electricity this morning, without so much as a warning. They make police come for arrest me, because them say they went no pay. No wonder me are turned mad, because them people treat me too bad. The tremor in her voice caused the sandwich to crumble, but the sizzling filling continued her rumble. Lord, we can't turn it in England. We want to go back to be people then. The two women limped away from her side, obviously deciding to discontinue their ride. While they were waiting to dismount the bus, I overheard their conversation. What's she on about us? Yeah, said the other ungrateful blacks. They come over here without clothes on their backs, using our social security to live a life of luxury. Most of them could fill up our council flats. The government don't care about the likes of you or me. Us whites are the proper beneficiaries. I don't know, most of them live on the dole. Not interested in working or playing their role. They go and complain, it gets on my nerves. Have you heard about this discrimination thing? I think it's absurd. No more bar black sheep or pollywogs on jam, because these niggas call it discrimination. Have you ever heard of Jelona? They make their beds, let them lie in it. Come over here to complain. What's wrong with that weather? What's a bit of rain? You know what I think the government should do? Send those little monkeys back to the zoo. I sat back and shook my head. They hadn't understood the word she had said. They translated her disorientation as an attack on their country. And so they fought back with vicious words and an unrelenting heart. That avenging scourge that permeates that part of our people, making them understand that their contribution to the economy has meant nothing to man.